Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Growth Digger. I'm Rahul Sindwani, VP Operations at Growth Natives. Today's episode is about a decision many growing companies struggle with, especially as revenue operations becomes more critical as businesses scale. Aligning sales, marketing, and customer success under one unified system is no longer optional, it's essential. But once leaders recognize the importance of RevOps, a key question comes up. Should we hire a RevOps agency or build an in house team? To break this down, I'm joined by Akhil Yadav, Associate Director, Product at Growth Natives. Akhil, great to have you here.
Thanks, Rahul. This is a question we hear very often, and the challenge is that there isn't a single right answer. It really depends on where the business is in its growth journey.
Let's start simple. At a high level, how should companies think about this decision?
At its core, the decision comes down to speed versus ownership. A RevOps agency helps you move fast by bringing in external expertise, while an in house team gives you long term control and deeper internal capability. Both approaches are valid, but they work best at different stages.
So it's less about which one is better and more about when each one makes sense.
Exactly. Timing and context matter more than preference.
Let's first talk about agencies. When does it make sense to bring in a RevOps agency?
A RevOps agency is typically the right choice when RevOps is still evolving within the organization. One of the biggest indicators is rapid growth combined with operational inefficiencies.
What kind of inefficiencies are we talking about?
Common signs include sales, marketing, and customer success working in silos, inconsistent or unreliable CRM data, reporting that doesn't align with actual performance, forecasts that can't be trusted. In such cases, an agency can step in quickly, assess the gaps, and establish a strong foundation.
So, speed is a major advantage here.
Yes, and not just speed, also expertise.
Let's go deeper into that. What kind of expertise do agencies bring that companies may not have internally?
RevOps today is quite complex. It's not just CRM management anymore. It includes attribution models, forecasting, pipeline analysis, AI driven insights, and tool integrations. Hiring full time specialists for each of these areas can be both expensive and time consuming.
Whereas an agency already has that capability built in.
Exactly. You get access to a team of specialists who have solved similar problems across multiple organizations. That experience significantly reduces trial and error.
Another thing leaders often care about is speed of results. How does that play into this decision?
Speed is one of the biggest reasons companies choose to outsource RevOps. Agencies bring proven frameworks, established best practices, and faster implementation timelines. Instead of building everything from scratch, you're leveraging what already works.
So the focus shifts from experimentation to execution.
Exactly. You reduce the time it takes to see measurable impact.
Let's talk about AI because that's becoming a big part of RevOps today.
Yes, AI is transforming how revenue teams operate, especially in areas like forecasting, attribution, and decision making. However, many companies don't yet have in house expertise to implement AI effectively.
So agencies help bridge that gap.
Exactly. AI led RevOps services help teams understand buyer behavior, improve attribution accuracy, and make more data driven decisions. This is particularly useful when AI adoption is still in the early stages.
Now let's shift to the other side. When does it make sense to build RevOps in-house?
In house becomes the right choice when RevOps becomes central to daily operations. At this stage, decisions related to revenue operations are happening continuously and need close alignment with leadership.
So proximity to the business becomes important.
Exactly. Internal teams understand the company's context, culture, and priorities more deeply. They can respond faster to ongoing needs.
What about process maturity? Does that influence the decision?
Very much. If your CRM structure, revenue processes, and reporting models are already defined and stable, an in house team is better suited to maintain and optimize them. At this stage, the focus shifts from building systems to improving efficiency.
So the nature of work evolves from setup to optimization.
Exactly. And that's where internal ownership becomes valuable.
What about long-term control?
That's one of the biggest advantages of building in house. You retain institutional knowledge, reduce dependency on external partners, and build systems tailored specifically to your business.
So, for mature companies, this becomes a strategic investment.
Yes, especially when revenue operations are predictable and deeply integrated into business processes.
Now, in reality, many companies don't choose just one approach. What does a hybrid model look like?
A hybrid approach is actually very common among high growth teams. Typically, companies start with a RevOps agency to design systems and strategy, then use an implementation partner to execute, and gradually build an in house team to take ownership.
So, it's a phased approach.
Exactly, it allows companies to balance speed, expertise, and long term control.
For leaders listening, what are some key questions they should ask before making this decision?
A few important ones. First, do we need results quickly or are we building for the long term? Second, do we currently have RevOps expertise in house? Third, are AI and advanced analytics becoming priorities? And last, is RevOps still evolving or is it already embedded in daily operations?
And the answers to these questions clarify the path forward.
Exactly. The right model becomes obvious once you understand your current stage and needs.
Before we wrap up, let's briefly talk about how you approach this.
My approach is flexible. I don't treat RevOps as a one time setup, it's an evolving system. I start by understanding business goals and bottlenecks, then design systems that deliver immediate value while also supporting long term scalability.
And AI plays a role here as well.
Yes, but only where it adds real value, such as improving forecasting, attribution, and decision making. The goal is to create a system that teams can manage, scale, and improve over time.
Let's close with key takeaways.
First, there is no universal answer. Both agency and in house models can work. Second, agencies are ideal for speed, expertise, and early stage transformation. Third, in house teams are better for long term ownership, stability, and continuous optimization. And finally, many companies benefit from combining both approaches.
If there's one key insight from today's episode, it's this: the right RevOps model depends on your growth stage, not industry trends or preferences.
Exactly. The goal is not to choose sides, it's to build a system that supports your revenue growth effectively.
Thank you so much, Akhil. This was a very insightful discussion.
Thanks, Rahul. Glad to be here.
And thank you to everyone listening. We'll see you in the next episode of Growth Digger.